What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to share my screen with everyone, and we're going to go in depth into the Erin Mills numbers. So let me just pull that up for everyone. So we're going to start with the condo townhomes. So this first slide that I have right up here, it's the average sale price from any condo townhome that is sold from March 15th of last year to where we are today in April. And why we're using that timeline for 2019 and 2020, March 15th is really sort of when the shutdown started in 2020. So we want to compare, okay, what's happened in 2020 since shutdown, and how does that look compared to 2019? So the average sale price, again, for condo townhomes right here, $625, and there were 9 sales at this time last year. If we jump to 2020, we're at 10 sales within that time period, and an average sale price of about $685,000. So in terms of year over year, it's about a 9.5% increase in prices. So just really gives you a good sense of where that townhouse market is right now, and what it's been doing since the shutdown. If we scroll down here to semi-detached homes, this is 2019 stats right here. So we had 5 sales with a $772,000 average sale price. And then if we jump to 2020, again, that same time period, 9 sales up to $786,000. And that shows about a 2% year over year increase. So again, even with the shutdown happening over the last 4 to 5 weeks, there's still been growth in both the townhouse and the semi-detached markets. And we're just going to finish off this part of Erin Mills. And these stats I'm going over here right now is Erin Mills south of 403. Once I'm done with these, I'm going to pass them over to Peter, and he's going to talk about what's happening in Erin Mills north of the 403, so more so around the Erin Mills Town Center neighborhood. So if we look at the detached homes here, this time last year, between the shutdown and where we are right now in April, there were 22 sold detached homes with an average sale price of about $918. Where are we right now? 14 sales in that same time period with an average sale price of $1,031,000, and that represents about a 12% year over year increase. So, I think it's really important to look into these stats, because a lot of the headlines right now with some of the big news outlets is, the world is ending, the real estate market's crashing. It's still too early to predict sort of what's going to happen. But, in terms of Erin Mills, what we've seen so far has been pretty positive from a price standpoint. So I'm going to pass this over to Peter right now, and he is just going to touch on similar stats, but north of the 403.
Great, thanks, Sean. I'm just going to share my screen here. Continuing on, we saw some similar trends that we saw in the southern part of Erin Mills, but above the 403. So the first screen we have up here is Erin Mills. Trevor reported since March 15th that we only had 2 townhome sales in that period, so significantly down from last year at this time point. The average selling price was $696,000, and we saw a low of $660 and a high of $732. Going to page 2. Last year at the same time period, we saw 13 sales, so significantly more volume. And at the same time, we saw a sale price, average sale price of $670,000, which about a $25,000 increase over last year at this time. So we have seen some increasing. If we actually went back all the way back to January, we would see that we have actually seen a stronger increase in pricing in townhomes. Let's go to page 3 here. So freehold townhomes, there's not a lot north of the 403. As many as south of the 403, so we haven't actually seen any activity. We only saw 1 last year, and that sold at $670,000. And again, the semis, we haven't had a lot of activity since March 15th. We did see 1 home that sold for $851,000, which significantly higher than year over year last year, which was an average sale price of $741,000, which were 2 sales in the same time period. So just a small sample size. I think the biggest sample size we're going to see is in the detached market, where in 2020 from March 15th on, we've seen 2 sales with an average sale price of 1.261 million, and the low and the highs are very similar, so very close to asking. Where last year we saw 11 detached homes sell, and the average price was 1.104 million, which we saw about just over $150,000 increase in average sale for that small sample size window. For south of 403 or north of 403, if you'd like to have an update around your home or your neighborhood, just reach out to the team at info@thehanlonteam.com, and we can kind of narrow down around your neighborhood, around your home specifically, what the activity has been. This is kind of an overview. Back to you, Sean. Or Trina.
Great. Great. Thanks, Peter. What I'm going to do next for everyone is, with real estate really going virtual, us as realtors have had to adapt. Open houses obviously are not an option right now. Showings are very restricted as well. So we're really embracing the technological world and different avenues available to us online. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm just going to go through one of our virtual tours for one of our active listings in Erin Mills. This is on Rainbow Crescent, just at Glen Erin and Folkway neighborhood. So the great thing about these tours is it really allows you to walk through the home as if you're actually there. And much like some of the photography or even slideshow tours, they don't get into a lot of the actual detail of the property in terms of the finishes, the graining of the floor. You can really zoom in and get a good sense of not just what the property looks like, but the quality of the finishes as well. So if we come into the kitchen, that same sort of thing. If you want to get a closer look at the backsplash, you can zoom in on it there. We can get even closer here. We've got this high-end stove. If you want to zoom in on that, on the burners, take a look at what that really looks like. It's a great tool that we have, and really what we're doing with our buyers right now, there are still in-person showings happening, and we're wearing gloves, masks are worn, limited amount of people in the house at the same time. But to really restrict and just ensure that we're going to a house where the buyer is very serious, we're using these online tools beforehand, doing virtual walkthroughs with the buyer beforehand. And if everything seems good with this 3D tour, then we're creating that showing and we're going in person and just making sure everything lined up. The house is what the buyer expected. So again, as a seller, this allows you to make sure that there's not just people, who might be thinking of buying, coming through your home. Anyone who's coming through your home or through your condo, they really are serious about buying your home in particular, because they've gone through this online marketing tools beforehand. And as well, for a buyer, you limit your exposure as well, because you get to check out different aspects of the property before you go see it, and you can really narrow down your list to properties that you're very interested in because you've done your due diligence on time. So this is a really valuable tool. This is available on our website, on our Facebook page as well, if you wanted to tour around the property and just get a sense for what 3D tours really are right now. So I'm going to pass this back to Trina here.
Great. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, so to wrap up, again, just a reminder that most of the business that we're doing right now can be virtual. There's very little that we actually have to do in person. We can do appraisals virtually, staging virtually, home inspection, obviously, with gloves with the inspector, but, just us with the inspector. All the documents can be signed electronically. And again, with our new platform of Matterport, with that tour that you just saw, it makes it really, really easy for buyers to actually decide, yes, that's the house that I want to buy. So it's very, very ideal, and it's a fantastic program. So just play around with it. It's a great tool. So we're going to be doing these market updates during the COVID isolation period every couple of weeks. So stay tuned on our website, or give us a call or email us if you wanted to be signed up and notified when we have our next one. It'll probably be in about 2 weeks, just so we can kind of see what's happening since today. And I also just wanted to remind you that if were interested in getting a quick little appraisal of your home, whether you're selling, whether you think you're going to be refinancing, or you're just curious about what the market value is at the given time, you can always reach out to us as well, info@thehanlonteam.com, or just reach one of us, Peter, Sean, Lisa, Andrew, Shirley, myself, and we'd be happy to do it for you. Lastly is every year we have an annual Hanlon Team Erin Mills Garage Sale in Erin Mills and Central Erin Mills, both on the opposite weekends. And we put out garage sale signs for our clients on the streets, on the driveway. This year's a little different. We can't go ahead and do it at the end of May like we normally do, but we are still planning the annual garage sale, because I know, like, if everybody else is doing what I'm doing, I'm cleaning up, decluttering, just waiting to get my stuff out there and get rid of it. And because you realize how much stuff you have when you are isolated within the house. So I'm doing that. I know everybody else is doing that. So if you wanted to sign up for the garage sale, there'll be a link on our website, or give us a call and we can sign you up for that, to reserve your spot and to reserve your garage sale sign. So that's all we had to do today. And I just wanted to let you know that we'll be staying online in case you do have any questions for the team. For a couple of minutes, we'll stay on. But again, if you wanted any more detail about what we've just covered today, reach out to us at info@thehanlonteam.com, and we'd be happy to forward it to you. Okay.